Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our second installment of all questions related to weddings. This first one is from Alyssa, who said, "What are your thoughts on eloping? And if you decided to do it, where would you run off to?" I am about as practical of a person as you can imagine. There's very little spontaneity to anything that I do. So the idea of eloping is not something that really appeals to me. But I totally think if you're one of those couples that loves the idea of just going with something, I say go for it. If I were to elope though, I would say going somewhere tropical would be nice. I have such a fondness for Mexico, and Jeffrey and I have been a couple times before together, and I've gone dozens of other times before that. So I would say a quiet little beach in Mexico. Julia asked, "Hi Emily, where did you shop for your wedding dress, and how many did you try on before you found the one?" I had a lot of different directions that I was going in when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for my wedding day look. I initially thought I might wear my mom's wedding dress. Turns out it didn't fit and I would probably burst out of it. Then I decided I was going to do something really short, kind of sexy, maybe a really bright heel like in an emerald green or something. Ditched that idea. I think a lot of it actually had to do with finding our venue, which is a turn-of-the-century mansion up in the woods. And none of those kind of really felt right. So I did find something that was kind of more romantic, but still felt modern, a Claire Pettibone dress that I found at Gabriella Bridal, which is a small little boutique in New York. I would say I tried on about 12 dresses before I found the one, and as soon as I put it on, I knew it was right. Jessica said, "My question is about bridesmaid dresses, maid of honor dresses. What is, in your opinion, the right etiquette when buying dresses on a tight budget whilst not sacrificing style and each girl's individual personality?" I think the best way to move forward with having all of your bridesmaids look similar is to come up with a color palette and then let each girl pick something that fits her body type and her budget. This way, if you come up with a theme that's, say, a coral dress, if a girl already has something in her closet that would work, great, she can save money because obviously being part of a wedding can be costly. Or she can then go treat herself to a new dress that she can wear for the wedding and then perhaps another time after that. So I think the most important thing to let people feel like themselves and let their personalities shine through is to have a color palette and not choose just one dress for each girl. This next question is from Alexandra, who said, "How do you decide on a theme? I'm recently engaged and can't seem to narrow down a vision. I'm terrified I'll wind up in an art-deco dress with cowboy boots on." Well, if you do go in that direction, please send pictures because that sounds kind of epic. But I would say not to worry too much about the theme. It will really kind of emerge over time. I actually didn't buy one wedding magazine when I was engaged. I relied on Pinterest and kind of just created boards and threw everything in that inspired me. And over time, themes did start to emerge and I wasn't even really conscious of it. So I think that's a really great way to have it happen really organically. From that also came different ideas, color palettes, all of that stuff. So I think once you have the wedding venue, which really helps dictate what it's going to really look and feel like, then the theme will emerge from there. This next question is from Ellie, who said, "DIY is very popular these days. Are there a few aspects of a wedding that you would recommend one could do by themselves versus delegating to a professional? Some areas I've considered are centerpieces and party favors." I love the idea of having a DIY element in your wedding. I think it's really special knowing that either the bride and groom had some kind of personal touch that they've added to the day. One of my favorite things that a friend did at her wedding was that at each person's table setting, instead of name cards, they also included a little card with a picture of each guest with either the bride and groom. And inside they wrote a sweet little note to each person. And it was such a personal little moment. And I still have my card, so it was a really nice thing to bring home as well. But I think another great thing, if you're good in the kitchen, one of my favorite things that I saw at my friend's wedding was that she had an entire dessert bar of things that she had made. There were little brownies and cookies, and it was such a nice thing to nibble on throughout the day. I think I was hovering there a little bit too often, but just because that is such an integral part of who she is, it was kind of nice. Each thing that you ate knew that she had put some love into and made in her own kitchen. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Ask Emily. And please continue sending in your questions to me via the comment section on my blog or through social media with the hashtag AskEmily.